This is my first time, guys, so just give you a brief introduction and then hopefully give you a few little tips that can help you build a bigger database. Hi, Michelle. So let's just make sure. Okay, great. We can hear each other, right?
It works. It works.
Perfect. So I'll just introduce myself real quickly, Michelle, and then turn it over to you. Maybe you could do a quick introduction, and then we can just share a couple of tips that can help build a better database for new agents. So my background is I'm 59. I have 5 incredible kids, 3 boys, 2 girls, 2 grandsons, 1 granddaughter on the way in January. Was born in Mineola, Texas. Graduated from Brigham Young University with a business management degree, emphasis in marketing. Spent 13 years paying my dues in corporate America before I became an entrepreneur. Built 5 very successful businesses in a kind of a parallel universe, you might say, to real estate. 5 years ago, I was actually 5 years ago this month, I took a role as a CEO team leader for Keller Williams in Scottsdale, Arizona, with no prior real estate experience. And so for the last 5 years, I have been a massive student of real estate and learning everything I can, kind of like a human sponge. And one of the things that I've really kind of done for my whole career, at least my entrepreneurial career, is built massive databases, and that has resulted in building huge sales organization. My biggest team that I ever built of independent contractors was a little over 25,000. Took me 11 years to build it. And so that's a little bit about my background. Michelle, turn it over to you.
Awesome. My name is Michelle Morton, and I am eXp Realty Proud. I am from DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. That is a tri-state area, so I'm licensed in all 3. I am a wife, a mom of 3 little girls, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So busy life. My background is digital marketing and project management. So I agree with Tony 100%. It's all about the database. When they say, what is it, the magic, the gold, all of that, the money, it's all in the database. I agree wholeheartedly. My background has been building organizations, everything small, large, working with entrepreneurs, and big organizations like Department of Defense, Kodak International, Royal Caribbean, just to name a few, to build digital marketing presence and sales organizations.
Cool. Awesome. I am in rare air here with you, Michelle. Nice to meet you. So one of the things that I had the opportunity to do as a new team leader when I came to my former brokerage, KW, as I said, back in December of 2015, was I had no experience in real estate. Didn't even have an active license at the time, and really brought a lot of outside the Keller Williams, Gary Keller world ideas to our market center in Scottsdale. And within the first year, I was able to take that market center to be the #1 in the Southwest region, and recruited about 180 agents. And as a team leader, that was my job. And so my first year, I was able to bring in 180 agents my first year as a team leader with that market center. And that was all really just from a lot of new agents. And that's who I got the opportunity to work with. And I kind of had the philosophy that I'd rather give birth and raise the child and teach them all the correct principles rather than go after a lot of people that I had to rewire and retrain. And there's certainly benefits to both ends of that spectrum. But one of the things that I've been able to help new agents with is to teach them the value of their database. You know, I ask people all the time, when you see a new real estate agent, what do you see? And they say things like, I see ambition. I see, someone that's excited to start a new career. I see someone that's got a lot of, desire and get up and go, whatever they say. And I say, I see someone who has 2,000 names that I need to get to as soon as possible. And that's really what it's all about in today's world. The new gold is, the new currency is data. And so if we can help new agents or even experienced agents, organize their sphere of influence into a spreadsheet that we can then copy and paste over into the spreadsheet that we need to get into KB Core, it's amazing what we can do with the touches and the connections. So I guess the first tip that I'll share with everybody in terms of building a bigger, better database that you can market to and create more business, especially for the iPhone users. I'm sorry, I'm not a Droid person. I've been an iPhone guy since 1983. But for the iPhone users, there's a great app that you can download called MC Backup. It's all spelled together, and it has kind of a blue logo with 3 little white heads on it. And you can download that. I believe it's free of charge. And with a few simple keystrokes, you can literally take every single contact in your cell phone and put it into a spreadsheet. Now, it's going to be kind of an ugly spreadsheet. You're going to have to do some cleanup work. But I've always taught agents that building a database is like building a foundation for a home. If you've ever watched a home built, I built a 6,000 square foot home, 8 bedrooms, 4 bath on the side of a mountain in Draper, Utah, and it took forever before the wood went up. And then all of a sudden it was like, boom, sheetrock was going up. But the foundation is what took the longest. And it's the same in real estate. When we invest the time to build a super strong foundation vis-a-vis our database, we will create a sustainable long-term career that can generate just an enormous, unlimited amount of income for us. So MC Backup is a great little app. There's a little gear wheel down the bottom right-hand corner that you can click on. And the first thing you'll need to do is change it to a CVS file. It should be set up, I believe let me just double check. It is set up initially as a V card, and you're going to need to switch that to a CSV XL format. Then you'll need to hit done. It'll ask you a couple of questions like, do you want to keep doing this time updating your database? You really don't need to. Your cell phone, you just want to get all the data out of your cell phone into a spreadsheet so we can start to clean it up and then copy and paste it into the template spreadsheet that we need to upload into KV Core. So you just keep hitting done, 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 and then you'll get back to a screen that has the 3 little, blue heads on it. My phone says that I have 11,897 contacts in my phone. So whatever you have in your phone, it'll show up, and you simply hit the green export button. And then after you do that, it'll bring up a blue email button. You click on the blue email button, type in your email, and send it to yourself. You've just sent yourself a spreadsheet of all the contacts in your cell phone. And you're going to find when you go in there and open that spreadsheet that it's going to be crazy looking, because we don't really put, if you're like me, I don't really put a lot of like emails in my cell phone. I do now, but I didn't back when I started using a smartphone. I would put someone's name in, I'd put their phone number in, that's about it. But you'll see that your spreadsheet will be a little bit crazy, and you're going to need to spend some time. That's building your foundation. Get that database just perfect, and that at least that spreadsheet. Same with every spreadsheet. Garbage in, garbage out. First name, first letter capitalized. Every letter after that lowercase. Same with the last name. If you have a bad email, you're not going to be able to touch them through email. If you have a bad phone number, same thing. So just make sure that as you're going through and beautifying that ugly database, that spreadsheet, that you have all the correct information, because what you put in there is what you're going to upload into KV Core. Michelle?
I'm definitely download MC Backup myself so I can get some of these people out of my cell phone and into my CRM. And to just kind of piggyback on what Tony said and add a little extra stuff, what I talk to you about new agents, first and foremost, is that you really are building a business, right? And you have to treat it as so. So if you're part-time, if you're a dual agent, or you're full-time, it doesn't matter, right? So here are a couple, I would say my top 3 tips on that. One is, again, like Tony said, set up your CRM today, right? Set up your CRM. It doesn't matter which one you use. KV Core is an awesome tool. There's some other ones out there, and it doesn't matter. Do not get lost in the technology. The best CRM for you is the one you use, right? It doesn't matter if it has all the fancy bells and whistles. And start off with KV Core. It's free, right? So use that. The other thing I would say is, once you build the database, start treating the people in there as people and not as leads or just prospects or numbers. That means to actually figure out how to start segmenting those people and figure out how you can communicate with them regularly, right? So one of the things that I teach often is to send a weekly email. And your weekly email doesn't have to be a newsletter. I really don't believe in newsletters because they always end up in spam. But send a weekly newsletter to your database. I usually do like a first intro paragraph about something that's happening in the world, in our world. They want to see you as a person. And then I always have a link to the hot homes link, right? And what you can do is set up like a hot homes list. I can't remember, it's like a landing page or something in KV Core, where every week people will open that because they want to see fancy houses. That's all people want to see. And then once they click that link, they go to your KV Core, it tracks it. You can set up automations, or you can just simply call them based on the fact that they've gone to your website, right? So the key there is set up your CRM, start communicating and nurturing with those people regularly. Every week I send out an email, and from the start of my career, I have at least 4 to 5, maybe 10 sometimes responses to that one weekly email, and people expect it. I would say the second thing is, as it goes along with this whole database thing, is build your business and building. So a lot of us get offended when our family and friends don't use us, right? Especially as new agents. And my motto has always been to build your business first, and then your family and friends will come along. So if you are upset because your mom, your in-laws didn't use you, don't. Because if you continue to build your business and build your credibility, the next time they need to buy, sell, invest in real estate, who are they going to reach out to? That would be you. And then lastly, I would say, or the third thing I would say, is that social media is a gold mine, but don't use it as like a one-way, like I'm screaming from the mountaintops, I am a realtor, this is what I do, and there's no engagement. Use it truly as a way to engage with your sphere of influence, right? That is your digital sphere of influence, whether they're just Facebook friends or real friends. So I always say there's a mix, right? So when you're delivering content on social media, do about like an 80-20 mix. 80% of you, your family, your friends, the stuff that people really want to see. I do believe that you have to take a stand. So I'm not one of those people that says stay away from tough topics. I really, stay away from controversial topics, but it's okay for people to know who you really are. And then 20% of that content should be real estate focused. Cool. Tony?
Thank you. I was trying to get a couple of questions answered there from some of the chat. That's great stuff, Michelle. I guess the next tip I'd like to share with everybody is LinkedIn. A lot of newer agents that are coming up, they haven't had an opportunity to build a lot of connections in LinkedIn, but I will just really put it out there that you've just got to. LinkedIn is a professional social media platform. If you've been around for a while, you have built a massive database of connections in LinkedIn. And the thing that I love about LinkedIn is you're basically required to put in information. We put in our title at our work, the company we work for, our phone number, our email address. Some people put their website in there. So the data that you can get out of LinkedIn in literally a few keystrokes is just awesome. So I'll see if I can, because I didn't plan this training, obviously, but I've done it a million times. I'll see if I can walk you guys through this relatively easy. If you're looking at a computer and you can get on Chrome or some sort of a browser, go to LinkedIn. If you do have a LinkedIn account, you'll want to go ahead and log in. And the first thing you're going to want to do, what we're going to do is export the data, the connections that we've created in LinkedIn. So we can get that in a spreadsheet and add that to our master database that we can then put in to KV Core or whatever CRM that you're using, okay? So once you're at LinkedIn, you'll see at the very top in the header bar, you'll see a little thing that says My Network. You're going to want to click on My Network. Unfortunately, I'm using a friend's computer because I'm traveling actually, and I left my computer charger at home. So hopefully this will work. But click on My Network, and then you'll see on the left-hand side, it'll say Manage My Network. You're going to click on Connections. In my particular case, I've got 1,792 connections. These are people that typically I've known throughout my career, people that I've worked with, people that have, maybe they knew me, but I didn't really know them that well. But they're all somehow connected to me in business. And then you're going to see on the right-hand side of the page, you'll see a little gray link. It's kind of hard to see at the very top. It says Manage Synced and Imported Contacts. So you'll just click on that. It's actually a little hyperlink. and you'll see that it'll bring up all of your connections there on the left-hand side. Now, I don't necessarily want all of my connections. It literally draws in from, years of cell phones that I've had and Yahoo accounts and Google accounts. Mine has 14,163. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to focus on the 1,792 connections that I personally have in LinkedIn. So you'll see on the right-hand side of the page, and I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the chat boxes, so I'll review those when I get through here. But on the right-hand side of the page, it'll show how many connections you have. And right underneath that, it'll say Advanced Actions, and then it will say Export Contacts. You're going to click on Export Contacts. Okay, and then you're going to see a little box that says, get a copy of your data. See your options for accessing a copy of your account data, connections, and more. So what we're going to want to click on is want something in particular. There's a second radio button there. That's a little round circle. You can click on that, and then you'll click on connections. That's really all I want, is just the connections of people that I've made on Facebook. You'll see a blue hyperlink that will pop up, and it will say Request Archive. You click on that, probably going to ask you to put in your password, and within about 10 minutes, you're going to get an email that says that your data is now ready. That's literally going to be a beautiful CSV spreadsheet of all the connections and all the data that you have in LinkedIn. And you can then take that data, again, clean it up, make sure all the names aren't, they're not all capitalized, because then you're yelling at someone, right? Take that data, once it's all cleaned up, copy it, paste it into your database. And what I would recommend is that as you're pulling this data in, maybe hashtag your cell phone, hashtag iPhone contacts. For LinkedIn, hashtag LinkedIn contacts. So that when you want to do a sort in your CRM of choice, you can do it by the hashtag, and you can do maybe just one campaign for your iPhone folks, one campaign for your Facebook folks. So that is a little tip on how to grab a bunch of awesome data out of LinkedIn to add that to your database. Michelle?
Awesome, Tony. A couple of people may reach out to you offline. They said it's hard to follow without a visual. I'm a techie, so I got it. I got it. But we have people from all over. We have some EXP agents with us. We have some people, some guests with us. Welcome. Thank you for joining us in our little world. I would say that for new agents, a couple of other things, right? So I had a new mentee chat yesterday, and I was pleasantly surprised when at the end of the conversation, she said, well, what can I do to be a better mentee? Right? I was blown away. I thought it was an awesome question. And what I said was to leverage, right? To really leverage the resources that you have available to you. So that means leverage your mentor, leverage your sponsor. And the truth is, this is not a job. At all, right? It is a business. And so one of the things she shared is when she was in the business a little while ago, a few years ago, and maybe about a decade ago now, and she was on a team. And she said, oh my gosh, I took for granted how awesome that team was because they did everything for me. And she said, I thought I was getting the leftovers, but now I see as an independent business owner how tough it is to generate leads all the time, how to either manage my own transactions or have someone do that for me. So I would say that leverage your mentor, leverage your sponsor, but also understand that this is your business that you're building, and to really just try to put everything that you can into it. What questions do you guys have? So what would be great to see step 1, 2, and 3? Is that as far as real estate, or is that as far as the LinkedIn that Tony was talking about? LinkedIn, awesome.
So one thing
Tony, what would you?
Yeah, one thing you guys can do is really simple, is just go to your browser. I've got all this stuff typed up in a PDF file that I'd be happy to email out to you, either on the MC Backup or LinkedIn. I also have a whole training on getting all of your friends out of Facebook, and they'll be in an HTML or a JSON file. But I hire someone from Fiverr.com for $5, pay a $2 surcharge to Fiverr.com, and I have them take that HTML file and parse that data into a spreadsheet. And now I can have all of my friends into a spreadsheet. I probably won't have their email or phone number because not a lot of people put that on Facebook. But what I can do then is I just create a copy paste. Basically, I share all of my contact information. I say I'm just getting into real estate. I'm really hoping to do a lot better. I'm intending to do a lot better with sending out birthday cards, anniversary cards, Christmas cards, Hanukkah cards. And then I just copy and paste and go into instant message. And then I ask them for their data. Maybe I share my favorite guacamole recipe or, my favorite apple cider, recipe or whatever. But I also share with them my personal data. And I just say, would you kindly share your data with me so I can update my database so that I can get better at sending out birthday cards, Christmas cards. And it was amazing. When I first did that, how many within literally, I kept getting data for 6 months because people don't go into instant messaging that much. But for the first week or two, I was just with taking that data, copy and pasting it, putting it in my database, in my spreadsheet. It was crazy. But what you can do is you can just go to Google and you can say, how do I download my contacts in my Droid? Or how do I download my contacts out of my cell phone, my iPhone, into a CSV file? And you'll find all kinds of great tips out there how to do it, step by step, boom, boom, boom. You can say, how do I download all of my connections out of LinkedIn? And it'll give you step by step how to do it. You can say, how do I download all of my friends in Facebook into a CSV file, comma separated value file? So there's the information's already out there on Google. If you just Google it, you'll find it. But if you want more specific, I've already got it all typed up, and I'll be more than happy to share it with anybody that asks.
You have a list of email addresses, Tony.
Yeah, I see that. That's great. I'm going to ask you guys to email me, anthony.hughes@exprealty.com. That would be so much easier for me. If you wouldn't mind doing that, that would be awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. And you know what I love, what you said, Tony, too, is the gift thing, right? So like really nurturing your database. And I want to share something too that I recently started doing. It's like so amazing. How many of you guys send gifts, like buy closing gifts, and it's like always like a hustle to figure out what to do? There's this new platform that I started using called EvaBot. Has anyone heard of EvaBot? I'm going to put it down here. I have a little referral code, and what it'll do is it'll send you a gift. That's why the referral code's in there. But what she does is she actually sends, it's like a bot, it's a robot, right? We leverage technology, and she reaches out to the client and takes down all the things that they love and that they like. And if you use that referral link, you'll interact with Eva. She'll send me some of your information, but she'll send you a free gift. And I mean, it's absolutely amazing. It makes gifting super amazing. The clients put in their birthday. So now I get text messages like, hey, Charlene has a birthday coming up. Do you want to send her a gift? Sure. Set the budget, and either EvaBot sends it out, or I can go in and shop, because, I do love to shop, and figure out exactly what I want to send her, and it goes out. It's absolutely amazing for retention and building referrals through your database. And I would say too, like if there was one thing, because I know we're probably running short on time, that I would like to leave you with. So I have this quote on my board, and it says, it's from Gary Keller, and it says, for every day you don't lead generate, 90 days later, you can expect no money. You don't want that to happen. And that's one of my favorite quotes, because we're in a sales cycle business, right? It takes time to close. It takes time to lead generate. And every day, like, that you're in business, you should be reaching out and talking to and touching clients. And the easiest way to do that is to set up systems using your CRM to know who, how, and when to reach out. I would say KV Core is awesome. I love it. It's a marketing automation machine. But if you're looking for a good CRM, Follow Up Boss is one that makes it really easy to know who and when to follow up with people.
I think people can. I'm not sure what our time slot. I know we got started a little bit late. Do you know, Michelle, what time we're wrapping up here?
I do not.
3 minutes left. Okay.
Oh,
Take a number. You can
Thanks,
tell us if you want to just talk rather than chat. That's fine too for 3 more minutes.
Awesome. Tony, what's the one last thing that you would tell new agents?
whatever time it takes to build your database, just do it. Do it. It was amazing to me when I would meet these agents that have been around for five or 10 years, and I would say, so tell me how you got started in the business. And it was amazing how many of the agents never mentioned their sphere, their database. And you can get it done, but you can carve years off of your learning curve and off of your production success when you really work hard on building a great spreadsheet, great database, hashtag it. So whatever time it takes, make the time for it, and just realize you're building a foundation for a home that will last for centuries.
Absolutely. And I agree 100%. And I also believe in marketing outside of your database. So, if you have a little bit of budget, Facebook ads are a great way to do it. Google ads are an even better way. They're a little bit more expensive. And then also know that there is not a magic bullet. So, you may run a Facebook ad and receive 20 leads and only 5 people reach out to you. That doesn't mean the other people are garbage, right? It's not like a right now business. Nurture, follow up with people, connect them with lenders. I've had clients that have been in my database for 2 years, and then they see me do an online video and all of a sudden they're ready to buy. So no lead is trash. It just may not be a lead that will convert right away.
Well, this was fun. It certainly was a spur of the moment. I really didn't expect this, but I hope that you guys got a little bit out of it. I know I loved everything you had to say, Michelle, so it was great spontaneously hopping up here on stage with you.
Awesome. You too, Tony. Pleasure to meet you. Thanks, guys.
Have an awesome EXPCon, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.